Hi everybody and welcome to another Wednesday night demo. I'm Chef Nicole of Meals Without Madness and I'm here tonight on behalf of the Kitchener Market. I am excited as always to be sharing another delicious recipe with you. Tonight we are going to make some delicious fried chicken and we're making that sandwich. So let's get started. To start things off for this recipe, we want to make buttermilk. You can definitely buy buttermilk already in the store, but I always like to show you guys how you can make it at home if you don't have it on hand. All you need is some vinegar, or in this case, lemon juice. I'm gonna add it to my milk, stir it up, and I'm gonna let it sit until the milk gets a little bit thicker, okay? So the great thing about this is you're gonna want about 4.5 teaspoons to 1 cup of milk. So I have 2 cups of milk here. So I added the juice of 1 whole lemon, which was approximately 2 tablespoons. Okay, so that's what you're going to want to do. I'm going to give it a quick stir. I'm going to set it aside while I get our chicken ready, and then I'm going to pour this over top, and it's going to add a great tang. You want to let your milk mixture set aside for about 10 minutes until it gets a little bit thicker. To my buttermilk, I am going to add a couple of tablespoons of sriracha. You could use your favorite hot sauce if you like Frank's or whatever's in your fridge. I like sriracha, so that's what I'm using here. It's also not quite as hot, which works well for my family. I'm also going to add in a couple of, about a tablespoon and a half of paprika. It's going in there as well. I'm going to give that a stir. And then I am going to pour this over top of my boneless, skinless chicken thighs. I'm going with boneless, skinless chicken thighs because I'm making this into a sandwich. So obviously you don't want any bones in there. But if you were making this just as a fried chicken dinner, you could definitely take advantage of the great price of chicken thighs that still have the bone in, and that would be a great way to make this recipe. I've got a couple of pounds of chicken thighs, and now I'm just going to pour this milk mixture over top, and then I am going to let this hang out for at least 30 minutes to let it marinate, let this kind of flavor the chicken a little bit, and then I'm going to show you guys how to make the flour mixture, and then we're going to get frying. Got my flour here. My chicken is marinating in the buttermilk. Now I'm going to add a few other ingredients to my flour mixture. I am going to add in 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Okay, this is to about 2.5 cups of flour. All right, so 2 teaspoons and 1/2 cup of cornstarch. This recipe I started making, I actually made it for the first time on Christmas Day this past year, and the family absolutely loved it. It was actually so popular on my Facebook feed that I have had so many people asking either for the recipe or when they can come and get some of this delicious chicken. So I thought, why not share this recipe with all of you guys so you guys can make it at home for yourselves. I'm adding a little bit of pepper to this, and also you could add in some garlic powder as well if you wanted to add a little bit of extra seasoning to the flour itself. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get my oil preheating on the stove, and then we are going to be ready to head over to the fryer. I'm set up next to my stove with my chicken and my flour. I did give my flour a quick mix with a fork just to make sure that my baking powder and cornstarch got mixed through. I want my oil preheated to 350 degrees. And also, if you want, you can preheat your oven so that when you're doing a lot of chicken, if you're doing it in batches, you can put the finished ones in the oven. And I'm going to show you how to do that and not lose any of the crispiness while you make the rest of the chicken. So I'm going to take my chicken, I'm going to let the excess drip off and then put it into my flour mixture. I'm going to keep my bowls as close together as I can so I don't drip all over the counter. I'm just going to add about 4 or 5 at a time. give them a quick coat. Make sure your breading completely covers the chicken. And then we're going to go into the fryer. We want to make sure that we're always putting things into the fryer away from ourselves. This isn't a fryer, it's a Dutch oven. But a deep bottom pot or a deep fryer if you have one will work. And then let it go into the oil, okay? When you're frying, you want to be careful not to overcrowd your pot. Make sure that you're using a heavy bottom pot that can take frying. A cast iron pan would be a great option. If you don't have a Dutch oven, you're gonna need to turn your chicken over in the oil because it won't be deep enough, but it's a good option as well, okay? You also want to make sure that your chicken doesn't stick to the bottom of the pot. So just kind of getting underneath it and making sure that it is floating and not sticking to the bottom, okay? So this chicken is going to cook for approximately 8 minutes, and then it is going to be cooked through. We're looking for an internal temperature of 165 degrees. I'm going to check a couple of pieces as they come out, and then I'm going to put them on this rack-lined baking sheet so that when I put them in the oven, they will stay nice and crispy. All right, here is the beautiful fried chicken. What I want to show you guys as well is we have some lovely chicken over here. I actually battered this one twice. So it went from the buttermilk mixture into the flour, back to the buttermilk and into the flour. So if you have family members that really love that crispy coating, you could definitely batter it twice and then into the hot oil. Don't forget to season this with salt as soon as it comes out of the oil so that you get a good seasoning on it. Just want to show you guys how to make this delicious sandwich. I've shown you guys a spicy mayo recipe before, so today I went ahead and made a spicy Caesar dressing. I just basically added sriracha to my Caesar salad dressing, and that's what I'm going to use for my topping. I'm not adding anything else to this. You definitely could add a crunchy coleslaw if you wanted to on top of this. Or if you guys didn't want, if you wanted to skip the bun, you could serve this up with a delicious salad, maybe some cornbread. That would be my kind of dinner right there. But we are gonna heap up some delicious chicken. Well, let's do the bottom of the bun here. Oh my, that looks so good. I'm trying to find a nice, really crispy piece. So we're putting 2 pieces of chicken onto this. We are loading it up. Then we are going to put the top on, squish it down just a little bit. We're going to cut that in half with our bread knife. Oh, hear the crunch of that bun. That's what I love. All right. Look at that sandwich. It looks fantastic. It smells great in here. I can't wait to dig in. I just need to remind you guys of some really important market information. The Kitchener Market is open on Saturdays from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. If you want more information, there is so much programming, so many events, and so many fantastic things happening that I'm going to tell you guys the best way to not miss any of it is to head over to the kitchenermarket.ca website for all of the information. Click on the calendar and you will be kept informed on what is upcoming from there. If you want to order online, you can use local line and order online up until Thursday and pick them up at the Kitchener Market. So thanks for joining me for this delicious fried chicken sandwich. I look forward to seeing you guys right here or out of Kitchener Market really soon. Have a great night.